Oh, I'm craving for the summer, just like you. So I'm not gonna paint any picture that I'm any better, but I got a system worked out and I want to share it today in this video. So let's go. So yeah, before we start, there's like the preliminary. So the preliminary is I'm like you. I want a vacation just like everyone else. I'm not gonna pretend any differently. I'm inching towards it, and for the last couple of weeks I noticed my change in energy level, and also I had to change some things because I wanted to complete what I was doing, and also yeah, I that was just like the big priority, but I wanted to get the most out of it as well. Now, in my opinion, the summer is kind of the same as right before Christmas, so you can watch this video right before Christmas again, and it will be relevant then as well. Now, also, I don't just want to abandon my mission. That's not my style. I have things that I want to complete, and as long as I have not completed those, I cannot really enjoy my summer. I mean, then it will bug me. So, what is my first part of the system? So the first part of the system is that I have a list of tasks. Plain and simple, it's not extremely complicated. I just have like a list of like I want to do this, this, this and this, and then my summer begins. But there is a little bit more to it than that because like I said, like my energy level, it's kind of dropping during the last few weeks before the summer, so I just need to work with that, because if I just push through even though I'm extremely tired, it's not going to work. So I need to keep that in mind and work with it, and that's always the case. Like if your energy level is a little bit low here or there, I usually find like an easier task or I take a break, because usually like if I come back after resting, I get the task done like half the time, and it's also way easier usually. So that's the idea to keep in mind. So what I did leading up to the summer, I was leveling down on the intensity of what I was doing. So here's what I mean by that. So 3 weeks before the summer, I was making 5 videos. So like 3 talking heads and 2 DIY build videos. And then 2 weeks before the summer, I will do 2 videos. So that's going to be next week. I will only do the build videos. And then 1 week before the summer, I will start reflecting on everything I did, and I will start to plan the restart as well. And also like what I did as well, I didn't write it down here, is that I uploaded everything until a couple of weeks after the summer. So when I return, I already have like a lot of content ready to go, and I can just start making like a bit of a stack because things are already uploaded there. So that's like my trick and my system. So let's continue a little bit more, because I want to unpack it like a little bit more. So during all 3 weeks, I spent more time on self-care, and this is not the same as spending time with the wife or with the kids. This is just things that I enjoy doing just by myself, and that's like my idea of self-care. Now, what I did this year, yeah, 2 things. First of all, and this is actually something I've been doing for the whole year, but I did a little bit more of that during the last couple of weeks. I played Sky Odyssey on my old PS2. It's a great game. The graphics there kind of not the best out there, but the gameplay, it's really solid. So I enjoy doing that. And also, yeah, I have like a big box, actually a few big boxes of DVDs, because when I first moved here, the internet was extremely slow, too slow to stream. So I was buying like cheap DVDs, and Mr. Robot was one of them. I hadn't watched it since it came out, and was watching it again, and it's really relaxing. So that's my idea of self-care. So I do a little bit more of self-care the closer the vacation comes, because I don't want to like burn out right before the summer. I want to go out on a high note. So I want to produce things of quality still, but I realize fully that I will be able to do less of those things as the summer comes closer. Now also, like this year around, the summer is also the end of my first 12-week year. And I read this book, well, a couple of months ago, and I was inspired to actually incorporate it. Like the idea is that by creating a 12-week year, like you pack the intensity and the length of an entire year in a period of 12 weeks. So like normally we have like these end of the year goals, like for like November or December. And I just had it at the end of this year. So by the end of June, I wanted to complete certain tasks. And it got me to go way harder than I did during the time before that. So it really has been extremely beneficial. So that's the idea, like to shorten the arc of an entire year down to 12 weeks. Now, and yeah, full transparency, I was a little bit too ambitious, so I had 4 big goals lined up, and mostly to do with Prim's game, the YouTube channel, and the whole enterprise. And I was way too ambitious. So initially I was planning to also do some writing to the site, to start a newsletter, to have a novel ready for publication in September. And actually I cut out all of that except for the first one. And the first one was already way more ambitious than what was realistic, because right now it's kind of in a slump. I have 18 subs on Prim's game on YouTube and 114 subs on Jelmer Build Things also on YouTube. And like I said, like the other goals, I just abandoned them. And I did this for a reason, because part of the 12-year plan, 12-week year, is also that you try to shoot for the moon. So the goals, what I tried to do was to make them like a little bit audacious, maybe, even almost. And I didn't really work, of course, but I didn't reach any of those goals. But what it got me to do was to reflect. So what I ended up doing is I focused more on the first goal, because I simply realized and experienced that creating quality content across all my channels, it just takes a lot of time, and on the execution side, but also on the preparation side. And I was like, I have to do this first before any of the other things make sense. So that's why I simply cut it back to the one goal, and I didn't even reach that one, but I'm still proud of the progress that I made. It's just gonna take more time. Now, my whole idea while doing this was this. It was like, don't spread yourself out too thin. And this is something I have to remind myself of that sometimes. Like sometimes I try to do too many things at once, and it always comes back to this. Like I always, if I do a few things and do them well, that's way better and way more productive than doing like a whole lot of things. The only thing what works for me and what may not work for everyone else, I mean, listening to what I hear online, is that I prefer to have like a couple of things going on, like 2, maximum 3 things. But if I listen to the information online, then it's more like you should do like one thing and do that extremely well. And for me, it never works. Like if I just do one thing, I will run out of steam at some point in time. And always if I do like 2 or 3 things, they kind of feed into each other. I do a little bit more of this and a little bit more of that, and I shift a little bit. And for me that works, but you have to figure out like what works for you and do that. If it works for you to do one thing and do it extremely well, do that. If it works for you to do like 2 things or 3 things and do that and shift in between, go do that. It all depends on what works for you personally. Now, and so those 2 or 3 things, right now, it's just running 3 channels. And this is a big workload already, considering I only have like 1 day to dedicate to YouTube. this is enough for me right now. And I wish I could spend time doing all the other things, but the simple reality of it is that right now I simply don't have the bandwidth. So I'm gonna stick to just doing that. Because in my bigger vision, like YouTube is the big flywheel, and if I get this flywheel in motion, then I can free up time to do all the other things. So it will come, I'll come back to it. And I'm not in a rush. I just need to give it the proper time and the proper attention that everything needs. Now, I feel like I'm straying here, so I need to go back to the question. So how do I stay focused right before the summer? So let's go back to that. So simply put, right before the summer, during the last few weeks before the summer, I only do and mostly do what's most important. Everything that's not essential and that's not gonna get me to get ahead, I just don't do it. And so that's the first part. Now also, and I always try to do this, I keep my eye on the long game. So if to determine like what is most important, I think about the longer game. So what I want to reach in the future. And based on that, I make my decision of I'm gonna do this, this and that. And in my case, that really was focusing completely on YouTube. Now also, just before the summer, I take more time for self-care than other times of the year, because I try to work with the energy level that I have. And right before the summer, of course, it drops a little bit. So I keep it in mind and I work with it. I don't work against it. Like working against energy, it's always counterproductive. So, and I know this from experience, by the way. Now, and also, of course, you need to have something to look forward to. So I booked a killer vacation. It's gonna be really awesome. We're gonna have a wonderful time this summer. A really long vacation as well. And we're gonna create a lot of happy memories, and it's gonna be awesome. And that's it as well. Like you can have like your really big ambitions, but it has to be your priority to also spend time with the family. Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. And for me, it's like about balance. Like I don't believe in not pursuing my personal ambitions, because that would make me unhappy. But also, it can't just be pursuing ambitions. It has to be balanced. So that's why family time is extremely important to me. And that's why we're just gonna spend a couple of weeks together, and it's gonna be awesome. And of course, during the regular weeks, we have plenty of family time as well. Family, it's really, really important. Anyways, let me know in the comments below what you did right before the summer. How did you pull through, and where did you get stuck? And I hope this inspires you. And thank you so much for subscribing, because that's gonna help to push this content out to more people who might also benefit from this. That's it. That's the video.